Good evening and welcome to the Star TV Newsroom, broadcasting from our studios in Kanifing, along the Battle Hardin Highway. I am Seidu Kamara. Thanks for joining us. Our headlines tonight: President Barrow reaffirms commitment to OMVG agenda in high-level meeting. Mohas Tibet graduate tracer study reveals 23.3% unemployment rate among graduates. President Barrow bolsters armed forces with key agricultural and transport donations. Ghanaian troops renovate mosques at Banjul Ferry Terminal, strengthening community ties. On the international news, thousands displaced by Sudan's conflict return home after army retakes Khartoum. 4 killed in U.S. attacks on Yemen's Hudaydah report. Those were the headlines, and now the news in detail. Many thanks for joining us, and now the news in detail. His Excellency President Adam Barrow hosted the OMVG High Commission delegation at the State House in Banjul on Wednesday, underscoring his administration's unwavering support for the Gambia River Basin Development Organization's initiatives. Harijaju files in this report.
Accompanied by the Minister of Environment, Climate Change and Natural Resources, Rohijon Manjang, the delegation engaged in discussions that highlighted Gambia's leadership role within the OMVG. President Barrow reiterated his government's dedication to advancing the organization's goals, which aim to foster sustainable development across its 4 member states. Following the meeting, OMVG High Commissioner Demba A. Jallow expressed gratitude for President Barrow's guidance and support since his appointment. Jallow emphasized his commitment to fulfilling the organization's objectives and working collaboratively with member states to achieve shared development milestones.
I have a task ahead of me, and I think he's right. I need to work for the interests of our 4 member countries. If you recall, this organization was set up in 1978 in Kaulak, and indeed it has clear objective of using the water resources, harnessing the water resources for the development of the 4 member countries. 47 years on, Gambia was the first High Commissioner, 47 years on, and today Gambia has assumed again the leadership of the OMVG.
This meeting comes as the Gambia assumes a pivotal leadership position within the OMVG. High Commissioner Jallow, who recently took office during a ceremony in Dakar, Senegal, asserted his dedication to advancing President Barrow's vision for the organization and strengthening regional cooperation. The closed-door discussions further solidified the Gambia's role as a key player in OMVG's mission to promote sustainable development and regional integration. For Star TV News, I am Hadijaju.
The Ministry of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology has released a pivotal report revealing that 23.3% of technical and vocational education and training TVET graduates in the Gambia are unemployed and actively seeking work. The findings presented at the validation workshop on Wednesday highlight significant employment disparities and underscore the urgent need for reforms in the TVET sector. Here is Mariama Dem with the report.
The Gambia, the smallest country on mainland Africa, faces significant socio-economic challenges, including high youth unemployment and the need for economic diversification. However, technical and vocational education and training, TVET, is recognized as a crucial strategy for addressing these issues by developing a skilled workforce that can drive economic growth and improve livelihoods. In response to these gaps, the government of the Gambia is prioritizing TVET within its national development plans and aligning it with the Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, to meet the evolving needs of the labor market. On Wednesday, April 2, 2025, the Ministry of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology convened a validation workshop for the 2024 TVET Graduate Tracer Study report at the Sadauda Karaba Jawara Conference Center in Bijulo. Funded by the World Bank through the Central Project Coordination Unit at the Ministry of Finance and Economic Affairs, The study evaluates the effectiveness of TVET programs in the Gambia and aims to provide evidence-based insight for enhancing the sector and improving graduate outcomes. Antatal, project manager for the CPCU at the Ministry of Finance, underscored that the study delves into labor market integration, social inclusion, and equity in access to TVET.
This study helps to identify strategic areas of development. It provides data-driven insights to refine our programs, introduce new teaching methods, and strengthen the connection between education, industry, and policy. In essence, this study is a compass, guiding us towards a more effective and equitable TVET system. It's about ensuring graduates are not just trained, but empowered to contribute to the thriving Gambian economy.
Conducted from October 15th to November 30th, 2024, this study involved a team of 20 enumerators and 5 supervisors who underwent a 2-day training. The survey covered 6 regions, gathering responses predominantly from urban areas with 93.56%, with a gender distribution of 61.81% of male and 38.19% of female. However, the study faced challenges, including communication barriers due to outdated contact information, participant reluctance, and logistical issues in rural areas, as noted by the Africa Level Group, which conducted the survey. Dr. Jacob Sanwidi, an educationist at Africa Level Group, highlighted that the study offers a comprehensive evaluation of TVET outcomes, focusing on key indicators such as employment status, skill alignment, and the socioeconomic impact on graduates from 2018 to 2022.
The study covers several key areas, including the effectiveness of TVET programs, employment and labor market outcomes, social inclusion and accessibility, entrepreneurship and innovation, evaluation of support mechanism, and priority areas for development. Using a mixed method approach, we combined quantitative and qualitative methodologies to ensure a comprehensive analysis of TVET outcomes. Our key findings provide insights into the effectiveness of TVET programs and in-depth analysis of the TVET loan scheme and priority areas. To ensure deep understanding of the local context, we believe in local partnerships. That's why we have worked closely with Mr. Lamin Diba and a dedicated team of field researchers who played an instrumental role in data collection and analysis.
The findings revealed a mixed employment status among TVET graduates, stating that 36.9% are in full employment roles, whereas 15.1% are self-employed, 13.2% are in part-time position, while 23.3% are unemployed and are actively seeking work, and 6.2% are unemployed and are not seeking work. Only 5.0% of graduates are pursuing further education. The Minister of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology, Professor Per Gomez, described the validation of the final report as a critical milestone in transforming TVET in the Gambia. He emphasized that the study is more than just a report. It reflects their commitment to building a skills-driven economy, ensuring that every young Gambian has access to quality training and meaningful development.
We recognize that the prosperity of our nation depends on the ability of our youth to access the right skills, adapt to industry demands, and drive innovation. This is why we continue to expand TVET opportunities, invest in training infrastructure, and enhance partnership with the private sector, ensuring that Gambian youth are not just job seekers, but job creators. The Tracer study provides an empirical foundation to guide policy reforms and institutional strategies aimed at skilling, upskilling, and reskilling our workforce. The findings offer valuable insights into employment trends, industry needs, and the impact of TVET programs on graduates' career trajectories.
The report also details employment distribution by sector, stating that 63.3% of graduates are employed in the private sector, primarily in hospitality, construction and IT, while 33.3% work in public sector roles, which offer stability but limited career growth. The NGO sector accounts for 1.9% of employment and international organizations represents 1.0%. Other key findings indicate that while 47.6% of graduates find their training fully aligned with job requirements, a significant 27.1% report no alignment. Earnings data also revealed that 57.1% of graduates in entry-level and part-time roles earn less than $2,500, highlighting the financial instability faced by many. Maria Madem, reporting for Star TV News.
In a landmark gesture aimed at fortifying the Gambia Armed Forces capacity for agricultural and logistical operations, His Excellency President Adama Barrow has donated a fleet of vehicles, including buses and tractors, to the military. This initiative underscores the Commander-in-Chief's unwavering dedication to addressing the needs of his troops, enhancing both mobility and self-sufficiency. More details in this report by Laminba.
The contribution comprises 5 Chumasin 8005 tractors, complete with essential agricultural tools, and 5 state-of-the-art futon buses, meticulously adorned in the Gambia Armed Forces colors and insignia. High-ranking military officials and dignitaries, including the Turkish ambassador to the Gambia and the nation's security chiefs, were present at the handover ceremony. The event was a moment of pride and gratitude, with the vehicles promptly inspected and loaded for their potential to uplift Gambia Armed Forces operations. Recognizing agriculture as the backbone of nations and the lifeline of humanity, the armed forces have ventured into farming to address their nutritional needs and contribute to national food security. Currently, the government allocates $48 million annually to feed military personnel. The addition of tractors is expected to boost agricultural productivity and enhance nutrition within the ranks. Lieutenant General Mamad O.A. Cham, the Chief of Defense Staff, expressed profound gratitude to the President.
The official handing over of 5 brand new buses and 5 tractors with their full complementing farming equipment, all brand new, generously donated by Your Excellency, the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces. This magnanimous intervention geared towards enhancing our transport and logistic capacity, at the same time to empower GAF's contribution towards achieving your government's food security and sovereignty initiatives. Your Excellency, on behalf of the general officers, men and women of the Gambia Armed Forces, and indeed on behalf of our families, I extend our profound gratitude and appreciation for this remarkable gesture.
Chief of Defense Staff emphasized the moral boosting impact of the new buses.
Resuscitate and greatly enhance our bus service scheme, ensuring the efficient and timely transportation of our personnel across our various military units. Reliable transportation, as already been alluded to by the Master of Ceremony, is a critical component of our operational effectiveness. And this donation will go a long way in boosting the morals of the soldiers, improving the welfare of our personnel in line with your government's security sector reform. The soldiers and officers are happy, Your Excellency.
Regarding the tractors, the Chief of Defense Staff stated that they aim to enhance nutrition among their members.
Graciously accept the generous donation of these 5 tractors to support the Gambia Armed Forces rice value chain production prospect, as well as other farming activities. As an institution that values discipline, resilience, and self-sufficiency, we are committed to playing a significant role in producing food and nutrition requirements for the Gambia Armed Forces and its family members, and by extension, if the production capacity increases, to the nation at large.
President Barrow, addressing the attendees, reiterated his administration's commitment to developing resources and ensuring efficiency across all sectors. He also emphasized the constitutional mandate of the armed forces, which extends beyond safeguarding the territorial integrity to include providing support during national emergencies and engaging in civil initiatives such as agriculture, health, and education.
The 5 buses to ease transportation and ensure punctuality of the officers, in addition to 5 tractors to support the agriculture initiative of the Gambia Armed Forces. Esteemed officers, our determination to have a peaceful country warrants us to seek alternative engagements of our officers during peacetime. The initiative to take up agriculture create basic produce for officers.
This initiative stands as a testament to the government's recognition of the military's evolving roles and its dedication to empowering them to fulfill their multifaceted responsibilities effectively. Lamin Ba, Star TV News.
In a gesture of goodwill and community support, the Ghanaian contingent serving under the Economic Community of West African States Mission in the Gambia recently handed over a refurbished masjid to the staff of the Banjul Ferry Terminal authorities. The ceremony, held over the weekend, was attended by key figures including the Minister of Defense, the First Commander of Economic Forces, and senior officials from the Banjul Ferry Service. Our Defense and Security Affairs correspondent Modu El-Baji has the rest of the details.
These initiatives form part of the Ghanaian troops' civil-military relations activities aimed at fostering stronger bonds with the communities they serve. The renovation project transformed the masjid into a more welcoming and functional space for Muslim worshippers with the installation of new ventilation facilities, prayer mats and carpets, giving the premises a fresh and appealing look. Speaking at the handover ceremony, Captain Christine Kenedo Ondemme, the Ghanaian contingent CIMIC officer, emphasized the troops' commitment to serving humanity and their desire to strengthen their relationship with the local population.
As we gather to commission this vital project, which has been made possible through collaborative efforts, I would like to express my deepest respect for your community, your culture, and your traditions. We recognize the importance of preserving and respecting the social fabric of this community, and we are committed to working with you to achieve our shared goals. Today, we celebrate not only the completion of this project, but also the journey we have undertaken together.
Lieutenant Colonel Abrahman Dere, the commanding officer of Gankoi 8, described the renovated mosque as a reflection of their values rather than just a physical structure, adding that the gesture symbolizes their dedication to supporting the community and contributing to its well-being.
It is my hope that as we commission this edifice, we remember that a mosque is not only a physical structure, but also a reflection of our values, our principles, and our commitment to our faith and community. It is our responsibility to ensure that this sacred place remains a source of inspiration and comfort for generations to come.
The Managing Director of the Gambia Ferry Services expressed deep appreciation for the Ghanaian troops' efforts and conveyed optimism about the continued strong relationship between their organization and the economic forces. He also assured that his office will ensure the proper upkeep of the newly renovated mosque.
We are gracious and thankful that it was commenced and finished in this blessed month of Ramadan. And we hope that the collaboration and support that we have been having with the Ghanaian economic team and the economic force overall in the Gambia would continue with many more efforts like this.
Minister of Defense Sering Morunjai highlighted the long-standing military relations between Banjul and Accra, underscoring the significance of the renovated mosque in strengthening these ties. He also reiterated the Gambian government's commitment to addressing regional security challenges in collaboration with its partners.
I would like to extend my sincerest gratitude to the contingent commander and his team for working tirelessly to renovate this mosque. Your dedication, expertise, and passion are a shining example of the power of collaboration and the impact that we can together move towards a common goal and objectives.
The refurbishment of this masjid serves as a tangible example of the possible impact of international military cooperation on local communities, fostering goodwill and mutual respect between the economic forces and the people of the Gambia. For Star TV, I am Modu El Baji.
We will take a short break. From there. The news will continue with news beyond our borders.
For centuries, we've always been a nation that wants to connect. Always striving to bond with others. We've created 2 million bonds with nature and with life. But we've always chosen the best ways of communicating.
Hello? Hello? One minute.
Through our smiles, our choices, and our voices.
Okay, Gambia, here we go.
And we, the people of the smiling coast of Africa, the people of the Gambia, we have chosen AfriCell to be our leading network and connect more than 2 million people together.
Welcome back after the short break. If you are just tuning in, this is Star TV News. Now on international news. Thousands of people displaced by the conflict in Sudan are returning to their homes. The UN says fighting between the army and the paramilitary rapid support forces forced more than 13 million people from their homes. Some have found their neighborhoods very different from what they left behind. Al Jazeera's Hiba Morgan reports from Khartoum, Sudan.
With tears and hugs, Fatma Hassan is welcomed back to her home in Sudan's capital, Khartoum. She and her family were forced to leave because of the fighting between the army and the rapid support forces. The paramilitary group controlled the East Nile area for nearly 2 years. But now that the army has regained control of the capital, Fatma has returned.
We left our home during the first days of the conflict because of artillery fire and stray bullets. We stayed away for 10 months, came back, but had to leave again because the children were traumatized, hearing sounds of gunfire and fighter jets overhead. Now that the situation is stable and the army is in control, we hope we can stay and the children can go back to school.
She's one of the hundreds of thousands trickling back to areas the army has retaken in recent months. The conflict, which began in April 2023, forced more than 13 million people to flee, nearly 3 million of them to neighboring countries. Mohammed al-Sadiq is returning to his home in Khartoum North. He'd been looking forward to being in familiar surroundings again, but instead, he's found most of his possessions stolen and what's left burned to ashes.
We left the house because the RSF had checkpoints nearby and harassed us, and we had sick family members. We were told they looted the house, but it's still hard to see it in person. It's uninhabitable. I have to rent somewhere until I can rebuild, and that will take time because the conflict drained all our savings.
Basic infrastructure such as water and electricity networks have been destroyed. Many homes and schools are in ruins, and there's limited access to health care. The damages as a result of battles between the army and the RSF vary from city to city and from district to district here in Khartoum. So while residents may be returning to some parts of the capital, there are other parts that are hard to return to just yet. The army says it's working to clear what it describes as pockets of RSF fighters in Khartoum, one of the 3 cities that make up Sudan's capital. That and closed bridges to the city are slowing the return of people. Fatma says coming home is a chance for her to rebuild her life. She hopes the peace and stability in East Nile lasts so she isn't forced to leave yet again. Hiba Morgan, Al Jazeera, Khartoum.
In Yemen, Houthi-affiliated media say the latest U.S. strikes have killed at least 4 people in the port city of Hodeidah. The attacks reportedly targeted the water supply management building. The U.S. has been bombing Yemen since mid-March after the Houthis threatened to resume attacks on Israel-linked ships in the Red Sea. The attacks have killed more than 60 people, including women and children. Al Jazeera's Mohammed Al-Attab has more from Sana'a, Yemen.
The attacks reportedly targeted the water supply management building. The U.S. has been bombing Yemen since mid-March after the Houthis threatened to resume attacks on Israel-linked ships in the Red Sea. The attacks have killed more than 60 people, including women and children. Mohammed Al-Attab is in Yemen's capital, Sana'a. Mohammed, what more are you learning about these strikes?
Yes, recently we are talking about yesterday the United States fighter jets have bombed different areas under the control of Ansar Allah. They have bombed Sa'da, Al-Hodeidah and also Hajjah. In Hajjah they have bombed Washha district with nearly 3 air bombing, and we are talking about also bombing the city of Sa'da with nearly 5 air raids. Also, they have bombed this water supply management building in Al-Mansouriya district in Al-Hodeidah, western the country. At least 6 people have been killed in that attack, and also many others have been injured. We are talking about that we are witnessing an increasing spike of these attacks and also a decline of these attacks. According to the Houthis military spokesperson Yahya Sariyah, he mentioned that there is an ongoing escalation and also attacks between they have attacked yesterday the United States vessels, and especially we are talking about the fighter jets carrier USS Harry Truman, and that many believe that these attacks are preventing the United States fighter jets from bombing different areas under the control of Houthis, especially preventing the spike of these attacks on their territories. Also, the sources, the medical sources that belong to the Ansar Allah, they say that they condemned these attacks, especially those attacks that target the residential areas and also governmental infrastructure. They have says that these attacks are unlawful and also violates the Geneva Pact.
All right. Mohammed Al-Attab, thank you very much for joining us in the Al Jazeera News Hour.
That story brings us to the end of this edition of Star TV News. But before we go, a recap of our headlines. President Barrow reaffirms commitment to OMVG agenda in high-level meeting. Muha's Tibet graduate tracer study reveals 23.3% unemployment rate among graduates. President Barrow bolsters armed forces with key agricultural and transport donations. Ghanaian troops renovate mosques at Banjul Ferry Terminal, strengthening community ties. On the international news, thousands displaced by Sudan's conflict return home after army retakes Khartoum. 4 killed in U.S. attacks on Yemen's Hodeidah report. I've been your presenter, Seydou Camara. Bye from me and the rest of the news team. Stay tuned and enjoy the rest of our programs. Thank you.